Hey guys.
Keep that in. We're going with that. Hi everyone. That was Rick's best intro.
Wow. You can tell it's Monday morning, can't you?
Yes.
Hey everyone. Welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, episode 131. Again, you'd think I'd be good at this by now. You know, over 2,000 videos on YouTube, 131 podcasts, millions of views, and I can't even do a simple intro to welcome the podcast.
Your podcast skills are going the same way as your golf.
Things started so promising and it's just dropping. Oh, don't, because my confidence in my golf isn't good. So don't think my confidence when I'm doing this as well.
No, without spoiling anything, you've had some bad rounds recently on Break 75. And we've had a lot of comments about it, Rick. People concerned. And the big one is, most people are loving it, the fact that you're showing some real rounds of golf. Because as we've said before, you could go out and you could forge them, you could fake them, you could sprinkle a bit of editing dust on them, and we don't. What you see is what you get. The big concern from people, though, is it's not so much that you're playing bad, it's that you seem to be taking it out on yourself, getting angry at yourself.
Yeah,
explain.
Natural. You know what I didn't realise before? I genuinely didn't realise this. How many golf coaches we have watched the channel. Like tens of thousands of golf coaches.
Yeah. They're
telling me I'm swinging too fast, too slow, face is too open, too closed, grip's too strong, too weak,
head up.
Lift my head up, all this jazz. I'm just playing a bit crap.
It happens.
All right.
It happens to the best of us.
But we're actually shooting ahead of schedule at the moment on Break 75. So we've actually already shot episode number 5 now. Yeah, episode number 4 is not even out.
And? Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
So
correct.
Episode 5, not giving too much spoiler away, during the round of golf, you said at one point, when you play like this, I can't ever imagine you playing bad.
I did. You have got a game, right, where when you're playing badly, the wheels fall off, don't they? Like a lot of us.
Yeah.
I think it gets in your head and you get frustrated at yourself. Again, that is what golf does to the very best of us. When you're playing well, which again, without spoiling anything, you play well in an upcoming episode, you just look solid. Your driving is good. Your putting is always solid and the kind of nice pace of putts. Your iron play is good. You don't overshape it. Your chipping was better, much better. And I honestly was watching thinking, I don't know where you're going to mess up here. I don't think you are. And
it's almost
very
like,
solid.
What's weird when I'm playing well, I can't imagine making bogeys. Like, I just don't even see it. Obviously, I'll throw a few in, but when I'm playing bad, I can't even imagine making pars.
Yeah.
Never mind birdies, but that's golf, eh? That is golf. What, like I say, I've seen lots of comments and lots of comments that are trying to give advice. I've had some very, very heartwarming emails. Really, really concerned. Like, people really genuinely concerned. I think a lot of people looked at the title of the clip we posted on the podcast channel last week about me quitting golf, but didn't actually watch the video.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people saw it and instantly went, "He's quitting golf." And I had a lot of emails like begging me not to quit, even though in the video I said, "Oh, it's not about quitting. It's just a very good clickbait title." But yeah, no, game's coming along. But also, like, I feel like we've been busy recently. Like, we've been shooting a lot. We've been making a lot of content, running.
Yeah, we're going to come on to that.
Like, hitting the gym, family life. Like, I feel like sometimes you know what I'd love to do, but time can't ever manage this. I'd actually love to go away for 2 weeks, like to a really class practice facility. Do you know, like somewhere that just has it all.
Work on your game.
And just grind. Like, you know, figure it out in the dirt.
Well, the downside to that would be, it would help your golf, but it would, again, make it almost...
But then we couldn't make videos.
Exactly, it'd be boring. It would make it almost not as relatable, because even though you play now probably a little bit more than the average person, obviously, because it's your job, but most guys or girls play on a weekend and maybe sneak in a range session. So that's what life's like, that inconsistency of golf, and why it's so frustrating. If your practice regime became more like a tour pro, it wouldn't be as relatable. I
was chatting to some guys yesterday, actually, that kind of casually play golf, and they said, you know, I'm playing, you know, I'm new to golf, and I'm just dead inconsistent. And I looked at him, I said, that actually never changes.
Doesn't.
Really, does it?
No.
Like, consistency never actually changes. It's just that your bad shots get better. Like, your perception of a bad shot compared to someone who's just started is very, very contrasting.
Your bad shot when you first start is literally like an air shot.
Yeah.
Or
like really, really bad. Like, we're going to come on to it in a minute, but like Sam Horsfield, who's just won this weekend, friend of the show, he won, which is phenomenal. I watched little bits of it yesterday, but watched his highlights this morning. He hit some bad shots. Like he even went on to victory and still didn't hit every single shot perfect. You look at his scorecard and think he had.
Yeah.
Like shot 3 under, you think, wow, what a great round, final round. But you actually look at the way he did it and you think, God, there was actually a lot of not great shots in there, but mixed with a lot of very, 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 very good shots.
Well, speaking of victory, thanks for wearing your red Liverpool top today.
You're welcome.
To celebrate our FA Cup win.
Well,
are you getting a bit more towards being a Liverpool fan again? We had that kind of last year. Yeah.
I think I'm Tranmere at the moment. I'm edging towards, I won't go Everton, but no.
Did you watch any of the football?
I did, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. I ridiculously wanted Chelsea to win.
Why?
Because I just don't want Liverpool to win 4 trophies this year. Because then you've always got it on us.
Yes.
Like, do you know what I mean?
I can't see the 4 happening, but
like, it doesn't matter what happens. Like, you are a ridiculously better team than us right now, without even a question about it. Everyone can see that. You and City are way above everyone else in the league. But like, when I look at it and think, we've done the treble back in '99, I think, oh God, if you did the quad, it's like, you've got it, because we're never going to do that. No. Not in the foreseeable. You can't even imagine it. So yeah, I was kind of hoping, praying Chelsea, and they had a lot of chances early on, didn't they?
Good match. For a 0-0, it was a very good match.
It was almost like there was so many chances, but neither team could like put them away.
Yeah,
it's a bit like having a round of golf and you've hit every green, but you've not sunk any real
played
birdie
well,
putts.
but couldn't score.
Yeah, exactly.
Also on the weekend, I did some running, and you've been doing some running. You uploaded a picture onto your Instagram, which we'll insert maybe here on the video if you watch it. And you were looking trim. Lookingly, don't go all blushed.
No, it's a bit of timber been lost. Well,
how much have you lost now?
I don't really know, because I've actually stopped weighing myself a little bit.
Yeah,
so I think it can kind of bog you down a bit, can't it?
It can get you excited, but it can also, like you said, bog you down. If you have a week where you feel like you've done well. Because if you're doing some weights now, which you know you are, you might be having a little bit of muscle mass, so the scales might not be the best reflection.
But I'm just feeling better. You know, the biggest indicator for me when I'm exercising. So I've done 50k now on my run. I know you've topped that. You're up to 80.
I'm up to 80 now.
That's ridiculous. So I'm going along this kind of, we talked in a couple of podcasts ago, we're going to do 100k, and hopefully loads of people are joining. Quite a lot are, aren't they?
Well, yeah, go on, sorry.
But I'm doing 10k runs. I've got them all in my diary, and I've pretty much stuck to it.
That's good.
You know, I might have swapped a couple of days, but I've pretty much stuck to it. But yeah, I've been doing a bit more working out as well. You know how I can tell I'm doing better is I don't get anywhere near as tired. Like evening times when I'm putting the kids to bed, if I'm eating crap and I'm not exercising, I get dead tired around that 7-8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Where now I'm like 7-8 o'clock and I've got energy, and like I'm going to bed slightly earlier because I feel drained, but I'm not getting that like lull.
Like a nice tired.
Yeah, it is. It's a deserved tired rather than just a lazy tired.
And you wake up earlier, can exercise.
Yeah, definitely.
No, you're right. So if you missed this a couple of episodes ago, it's not too late to join the challenge. We've set essentially like a golf. There's red tees, yellow tees, and white tees. Red tees is 50 kilometers this month. Yellows is 75, and whites is 100 kilometers. But you can walk it or run it. So obviously a lot of people.
You're going off the black tees today. Or this month.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens when it gets to 100, if I'll just quit or keep going. I won't quit.
You're way ahead.
But I've had loads of people DM, we've had loads of people in the group as well on Facebook saying how they're getting on and they've been a bit more motivated to do it. So, as I said, even if you've not done anything yet, it's currently going to be May 17th when this podcast goes out. Go and do the 50k walk, an hour every now and again, go and walking, get 3 miles in. You'll do it easily. And I think people are enjoying doing it together, a bit of that kind of spirit.
You could add your golf in.
You could add your golf.
Well, play a bit of golf.
I played on Friday and I set my watch and played after work, so it was quite late. But still, then it was about 4 miles, like well over 1,000 calories. That's cool. So golf's good for it. Obviously, it's not as much in a buggy, but I was looking online at this article randomly about exercising when you're golfing, and apparently, obviously, walking with your bag is the best. You burn the most calories. Walking with a push or pull trolley, it's not an electric one, but a push or pull, isn't far behind the bag, weirdly, because obviously you have to push the trolley up or pull it. The worst one, if you like, is using a buggy, a cart in America. But even then, at most courses, you have a buggy path you've got to stick to. So you're still walking. So any kind of golf is good.
It always surprises me how many steps you do, even in a buggy.
Yeah, well, you do.
Because like I say, you've got to park it, you've got to walk across the green, and like, it is amazing. Even though a round of golf on a let's say a 6,500 yard golf course, it's all the walking in between tee to green, or green to tee, shall I say. But then it's also zigzagging if you're not playing well. But it's also like the walking around the greens and stuff. Like when you go and take the flag out for somebody and then walk back, like you do get some 100%. Real steps.
So
in.
we might do, not every single month, but maybe a couple of times a year, we'll start doing these little challenges. And if people want to join in, feel free. Is it a thing, 100k in May? No, I just made it up.
Because it goes so well.
It's got a little rhyme. No, I wanted something that if I said to you and then you kind of committed to as well, and then we said in the podcast, I wouldn't skip on. But I think as well, the fact we've got those two different options, you've got the 50, 75 and 100, and you can walk it or you can mix it. I think it gives everybody a real chance of actually completing it. And
100%.
Well done to everyone that's doing it. And if you're not doing it, feel free to start. If you want to do 10k, 20k, do something, get active. Do it together.
And it feels better.
Yeah.
I know I just brushed on it a minute, but can we just really celebrate the fact that Sam Horsfield won this weekend?
Sam Horsfield sat in this very seat in September, and the podcast with him came out on September the 28th, my birthday. Just put that in your diaries, everybody. For the next one.
So he won over in Belgium at the Soldal Open, or the Belgium Open, a lot of people have been calling it. 13 under for his tournament. Won by 2 over Ryan Fox and Paul Yannick. Had his girlfriend Izzy on the bag, which we weirdly met. We met her last week.
Well, we obviously filmed with Sam 6-7 months ago, and we didn't know about his girlfriend at the time. I don't know if he'd actually met her then. We went to the British Masters on Friday of a couple of weeks ago. We were following him round. Next thing, we got speaking to her. Did she stop you, or did you?
So I saw a couple, like a kind of a mum and dad, really like looking over at Sam, like as in like taking pictures. I thought, I'm sure they must be related. And I kind of said, "Oh, are you Sam's mum and dad?" And one of them said, "No, I'm actually." How did it work now?
It was Izzy's dad.
Izzy's dad.
So Izzy is Sam's girlfriend.
Izzy was there, and she said, "Oh, hi, like." I'm Sam's girlfriend, and she goes to my school where I used to go back in the day. She's studying golf studies. I think she was a pretty decent golfer herself. She was just wandering around at the British Masters. I'm not sure why she ended up caddying for him at Belgium.
His caddy has got some family issues at home, unfortunately, so he couldn't caddy. And I know that after the third round, Sam had said he wanted to win it for his caddy. I think he's called Mike. Don't quote me on that. I think he's called Mike.
So so we wandered around for a few holes with Izzy. It seemed like such a lovely girl. And next week they go and play in Belgium and bloody win.
That's awesome. Well, the story was, I'm sure they won't mind us saying, that she met him. Was it at Wentworth?
Carrying the scoreboard.
She was doing the scoreboard carrying. They got chatting. I think somebody slid into DMs. Not sure which way that was, but why not?
That's how it works.
Sam's a great guy. Izzy was a very nice girl. Both down to earth. And he went on and won. So he won, I think it was €333,000. Not bad for a week's work.
We signed the contract, didn't we, at 25%?
Yes.
Great. I'm glad we got that sorted.
Yeah, we did.
I wish. I think he could be a real world beater.
That's his third win, I think, now on the European Tour, DP World Tour. And they were saying, which I kind of forgot, but I did know when they said it, that he's won twice, but it was in COVID times, so there was no fans. This was a big one for him. And on the last, I don't know if you obviously saw the highlights. I watched a little bit of it live because I saw he was doing so well. He hit a bit of a pulled tee shot on the last, I think it hit his 3-wood or 5-wood, which had been striping all week.
And put it in the trouble.
Yeah, but that shot he hit out there was so good. And then Ryan Fox made a bogey, so he kind of won quite comfortably. That's put him up to world ranking number 64. So
he was outside the world 100 when we filmed with him, wasn't he?
Yes. And then I think he was inside it recently or before this. But that top 50 is where he wants to be. Well, obviously number 1's where he wants to be, but top 50 is when it gets serious, isn't it? So he's really climbing the ladder.
And he's been out injured for a while with a hip injury.
Yeah, he had about 3 months off. Because I think his last tournament before he came back for Betfred British Masters was the what's it called now? The Dubai Desert Slink IO or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He did quite well in that.
Yeah, he did.
But he's killing it. He's such a good guy.
He's such a good guy. Like, we watched him on the British Masters. We literally watched him on the 17th. He hit a great tee shot, par 5, dogleg right. He kind of pulled this 5-wood. I think we told it on the story a couple of weeks ago. Put it in the bunker. Literally just lobbed it out with such beauty and finesse and holed it for an eagle. Walked over to tee, had his golf ball and just gave it to like this little lad, and it's like this kid's face just like lit up, and it's like those little, I don't know, the really important moments, them, aren't they? Because like that kid might take that golf ball and he'll remember Sam, and you know, whatever happens in the future.
And imagine the following week he's literally gone and won, and you're the little kid who got his golf ball and was like, that was Sam Horsfield that gave me his ball. Next week he wins.
I wish I'd got it. I wish I'd got his golf ball.
I bet you do.
I'm gonna take. I should have taken off that kid. I told you I should have.
Why are you screwing up to a kid at the time? Let's go to this golf ball.
Give me that golf ball back. He's my friend. No, well done, Sam. Absolutely awesome. And then also, other friend of the show, Minwoo Lee's sister, won her 7th LPGA tournament. Minji Lee.
Awesome.
She is. Minwoo talks so highly of Minji Lee, and I walked a few holes when we were down at Centurion for the Ramco series, and I walked a few holes with her. She was ridiculously good. Like, I know they have huge competition between them, but 7th victory. Awesome. So she's like, just everyone.
Well, that's what I'm going to come on to. That's the only question I've got. When the podcast was smaller and we had fewer guests on, so like when we had Minwoo on, for example, and then he went on to win, it felt really kind of attached to us because we'd done stuff with him. Thankfully, now the podcast is growing and growing and we're getting more and more bigger names on, i.e. your Brysons, i.e. your Victor Hovlands. How much can we still claim there's something to do with us?
100% we can.
Okay.
Like literally 100%.
So next time Lee Westwood wins, which I'm sure he will again, we can claim
100%.
That. Okay, and is there a lifespan after the podcast?
Nope.
No, okay.
Nope.
Perfect.
It's forever.
That's ideal.
It's a contract forever. If you've been on the show, as long as you win at some point in the future, literally, then it's out. We've made that win happen.
This room simply. As well. When you come in this room, good vibes come off.
Yeah.
Apart from for us.
Or just anything. Yeah. Well, I think I must extract the good
I feel
vibes.
like when you finally break 75, I can claim you. I'll put a picture on Instagram with you. Made up my mate Rick Shiels broke 75. Must have been the positive podcast vibes.
Yeah, I try and I'm so selfless. I just give my good luck, my fortune, goodwill to all these wonderful guests.
Oh, that's good. So I played golf on Friday.
Okay.
After work,
Tell
obviously.
me. Obviously.
And it was a great day because Break 75 came out. That video did well, and I played golf and I beat my mate, so that was also very good. I don't want to brag about that too much, but I did win. But there was something happening at the golf club that was small but huge. Okay. So when you played my golf club, Huffwood Golf Club, it's called, in St Helens. It's not the best golf course in the world, but I've been a member there on and off since I was 8 years old. So it has a place in my heart.
There's literally a picture of you in the clubhouse, in the pro shop. Sorry.
Yeah, in the pro. We'll maybe put it on the video now. Well, you got took a picture of it, didn't you? We'll get Matt to put it on. So if you're listening, go and watch the video version
this
of the podcast.
Guy's 8th birthday.
My 8th birthday. I've got a big head and no shoulders. Not much has changed really.
Did you have a shirt on as well?
I had a shirt on. I had a weird, I think it's orange like check shirt tucked into my corduroy pants. I was swag. That's probably quite a cool outfit now.
It would be.
Yeah.
Like if someone like
student,
Macklemore turned up in it, it'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or like you say, those students at St Andrews, they're just like rocking it.
I was just an 8-year-old anyway. So I've been there all my life basically, and when I kind of rejoined last year, there was things. Obviously, we're very fortunate we can go play at lovely golf courses. So when you go to your home golf course, you don't expect that all those features and stuff are there. It's just never going to happen. But you notice some things that you think need to change.
Yeah.
One of the small things, it sounds ridiculous, was the actual flag sticks and the flags were just rubbish. They'd been there for absolutely years. They were dead flimsy, dead light. The actual flags were quite ripped and just torn. It was like, that's just a small thing that's rubbish. Don't know how much flags and flag sticks cost. It can't be that much.
I bet it's surprisingly expensive.
$2,000 for the whole lot, maybe.
Yeah.
I need a couple of spur, I guess.
Yeah, you probably need 22 flags.
Well, actually, we have more than that because we have a colour system. So we have, I think is it red, yellow, and blue. So if a flag's at the front, it's red, middle is yellow, and back's blue. I think.
But you'd only have 6 of each.
That's true.
Because that's how it works. So what typically would happen with that, and you might notice it now. Let's say one day the pin is at the front on the first, middle on the second, back on the third. What happens then? They just move the flag to the next hole.
I get
you.
So
they'll put the second on the front and move the flag over. Do you get what I mean?
I'm with you. Yeah, so, okay, well, whichever way. It can't cost
But you still need 20 flag sticks or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum 18, obviously.
On Friday I played, and when we got to the first, hitting into the first green, we had to stop because Peter, the guy that has been at the golf club as the owner for years, he was actually putting new flags in. I was like, oh my God, that's a new flag, an actual flag stick and a flag. We got down to the green, and it was a new flag.
Wow.
And it was like thick, it was heavy, it was steel, had girth to it. Sorry, I had to go on that stupid route. And the actual flag was a new flag, a much better quality with like this logo on it. And I was like, oh my God, even the cups were new as well. I was in heaven.
It's ridiculously important.
It's such a small change, but I just felt so much more almost proud of the golf course. And again, it's ridiculous.
You remember me back in the day when I was obsessed about flags and people used to send them to me? It does make a massive difference.
Well, that's the thing.
Like good quality flag that kind of sits nicely, a bit of embroidery. I'm not opposed to a number on a flag.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Really nice cups.
Yeah.
I think cups are so important.
I'm also a huge fan of painting the inside white.
I mean,
it takes seconds, but it looks so good.
How easy is that?
I think it's done originally for TV cameras, so when you're watching the golf, you see the hole easier when the put in, obviously. But when golf courses do that, it just adds that little bit of.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Listen, if you have any control over your golf club, i.e., you're a greenkeeper, or you're on the council, or you're one of the head pros, whatever. Let's give some top tips, and we've got a load of ones as well,
in our
starting off, great flags,
yeah,
sticks, great flags,
yeah,
of the golf club. Be proud of it. Really nice cups, like clean, fresh cups. Get them every year. They can't be expensive.
No. Well,
and then white paint to go around the inside of the hole.
Use Tipp-Ex if needed.
I mean, that's so easy.
It's so easy. Well, we asked in our Facebook group. So again, just a quick plug for the Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, what are you doing? Like, don't say I've not got Facebook. That's an excuse. Make a burner account. Call it Rick Shiels with a different spelling.
And if you've not got Facebook, you can join us Twitter community.
We've got Twitter Clubhouse as well. But the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast group on Facebook is a group you can join. And within that, we've asked so I put feature on the podcast is what I put to start with because that would get people interested.
Of course.
And then I explained that I played golf and how those little things made such a big difference. So I said, tell me the tiny things that can make or break a golf course. So we don't want good greens, good tees. That's obvious. That goes without saying. We all kind of desire those.
But also, they are also quite hard to do.
Well, that's it. And if you've got
finance restrictions,
exactly. So little things we've gone with. I love this one from James Barton. Ball cleaners near every tee box. They help.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise him one up. I'm a big fan of a ball washer. If your golf club has ball washers, there is no excuse why they shouldn't be soapy.
Yeah.
I'm a massive advocate of a soapy ball washer. I can't
100%.
believe I'm saying this on the podcast, but I am. All that would take is every morning a greenkeeper just to get a little bottle of water, bit in, a tiny little bit of fairy liquid, done.
So easy.
Big thing for me, that.
A towel hanging off the ball cleaner?
I do like that, but as long as, again, the towel's maintained well.
Clean.
Because we've all got our own towel. Yeah, just that little bit of, can't be a lot.
Yeah.
Chris Shorttreed has said sand in the bunkers. Now, again, sand can be expensive. I think it's really gone up in the current climate, bizarrely. I've heard people say how dear sand actually is. But again, if you've got bunkers, keep them consistent.
Yeah.
If they've not got much sand in, have them all.
Have all of them terrible.
This is a good one from Joel Shipton. Tee boxes that are level. It may sound surprising, but so many tee boxes on golf courses near me aren't level.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've played some really, really, really nice golf courses, and the tee boxes there aren't level. Yeah. I feel like that's a fundamental thing that can definitely be done through the winter, where tees can be leveled.
Yeah. Nice one from Logan Middlemass. Rakes in the bunkers.
Yeah.
Now, again, it can probably get fairly pricey, but every bunker should have a rake in. And sometimes there'll be like maybe 2 or 3 greenside bunkers. There might be one rake for all 3.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
Don't give people... I mean, people should go out the way to rake them anyway, but don't give golfers the excuse not to rake them.
Yeah.
Because if you think, there's the rake right over there, I won't bother.
Exactly.
But if there's a rake right next to you, there's no excuse.
Yeah. This is one of my favourite from Callum Davey, and it's the most simple thing ever, and I relate to it. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Bins emptied regularly. Well, I can't say regular. Right there. Oh my God, I can't say regularly. Often. No, but why can't I say that? This is happening like delusional again. Regularly. Oh my God. What is it?
I feel like I need to say the word. Regularly.
Oh my God.
Often.
Regularly. Oh my God. Regularly. That's right. I don't know. I've gone. My head's gone. And then another one, but bins. A lot of golfers don't have bins on the tee. I know this, again, it's such a small thing, but a little bin, you finish your Monster Energy Ultra Red.
Yeah.
You've done with it.
Yeah.
Put it in the bin.
Easy.
Your banana skin in the bin.
Easy.
Are you looking now?
I've got some.
I didn't know if you were...
I've got some.
Go on, let's hear a couple that you've got then.
To be honest, I've kind of got some of my own a little bit. I'm going to throw my own in. When tee markers don't line up with the hole.
Yes, that's frustrating.
So greenkeepers cut the tee, and they'll stick the tees down, but they've not thought to themselves where the actual hole points.
Yes.
And they just kind of point him in a bit of a random direction. And it can really throw you off scent, really, can't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Another one that is unbelievably easy and really riles me up when it doesn't happen. You know, on a hole, you'd have either a post for how the whole information, wouldn't you? Or like one of the little gravestones, right? The kind of ceramic gravestone. Have them cleaned.
Yes.
They shouldn't be covered in bird poo. They shouldn't be covered in dust or grass cuttings. It's so unbelievably simple. Like I did work experience actually at the Marriott where we do a lot of filming now when I was a kid. And one of my jobs was to go around with a soapy bucket and literally clean all the tee markers, all the 150 plates in the middle of the fairway. Like, I loved it. And they look so much better.
Tiny thing. This is a nice one from Seth at Brookfield. It's a bit more of a pricey one, but again, makes a big difference. A working air jet to clean your shoes after a round. I love that.
Fan.
Yeah.
Another big one. Fan. Again, I've not seen this on one of the comments, but when the greenkeepers cut the fairway, have it where the grass gets picked up.
Yes.
I don't know how expensive that is or whether you need some special machinery, but it looks awful when the fairway's been cut and you think, oh, that's perfect, but there's loads of grass cuttings everywhere. It drives me insane because you're like, well, it's gone against the reason of cutting the fairway, really.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying about things like bins and ball washers, like so many people. It obviously is something that it's one of those weird small things. What's Matt texting me saying? Matt behind the camera is saying a broken tea bucket next to the tees. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Can go with that.
I like that because then you can use it for an iron as well. If you're an iron up a tee goal, a couple of broken tees there, I'll pinch one.
You know what I think's a really good one? And again, I don't think it'd be expensive. And you get it at really nice golf courses. A little station when you start on the first hole, just like a little plinth, and you open it up and there's a few tee pegs, a few pencils, dead cheap pitchforks, ball marker, just so you can open it when you get to the first tee, grab a few tee, and it's there's no money in that. Like, it's so cheap to do.
That feels like that would get a little bit pricey though throughout the year. If you imagine everybody's taking.
I'm not sure, but it's
nice
those
though.
Really simple plastic or those really really cheap pitchforks, which are like 10p or something. A green fit.
No,
Like, again, you're not giving anybody an excuse to not repair pitch marks or do things like that.
No, I agree. We might come back on some of them in a minute because there's loads of good ones. Just another quick plug as well. We actually, after the last week or the week before, we mentioned the live podcast. We've sold some more tickets, which is great. We are very much looking forward to it. So it's not too late to come. There's still a few tickets left, Rick.
Next weekend, 28th of May, down in London town, Islington / Angel. Come along, podcast live. We'll get to have a beer with us maybe afterwards. We're not going to make any promises, but maybe.
Don't make a promise now.
Okay, you can have a beer with us. We'll have shots of Sambuca. It's going to be really different to the show. It'll be a little bit more live podcast. Me and Guy chatting, talking to the audience. We're not going to film it or record it for actual public consumption. So you have to be 100%. I mean, borderline, and I don't want to throw this out there, the people who don't come, do they kind of sacrifice their clubhouse eligibility?
As the inventor of the clubhouse, the founding member, the president, the CEO, you're overruled there.
Okay.
Being in the clubhouse is a mindset. It's about listening to all the podcasts. Coming to these events is brilliant, but that's almost more like
bribery.
Yeah, bribery. No, if you come, you'll have a good time. I think it should be good. So. It's annoying the Champions League finals on at the same time.
Don't
I know, but I'm going to come clean. So I'm a Liverpool fan. Obviously, I'm gutted. We're doing a live podcast. No, I'm joking. It's going to be good. We'll just keep my phone on in my pocket, and when Liverpool score,
I'll just be watching on his phone. I'll just be entertaining, like pretending to juggle. Or I tell you what, everyone that's coming in can give me a chipping lesson.
I'll be good.
Everybody.
Well, they've got all bloody night. No, it should be good anyway. We'll put a link in, if you're watching, the comment box below. There'll be a link to buy tickets. If you're listening, there's a little bit of thing on Apple or on Spotify. You can click a link and buy them. But come along, bring a mate. Bring a date. Bring a date. Imagine bringing a date to the podcast show. So what? Someone's first date, he goes, hiya, Kelly. I'll pick you up tonight at about 6 o'clock.
Where are we going?
All right, okay. We're just going into Angel, just chilling.
Oh, there's some nice bars in Angel.
Yeah, there is. Well, we're going to go to the Assembly Hall first.
Ooh.
About 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6:30. Yeah.
So what do I have to wear?
Something revealing. Sorry, we may have to bleep that out.
What's the dress code?
Smart casual.
Okay.
Not golf attire, but if you want to wear golf attire, you can.
Why'd you say not golf attire?
Oh, sorry, did I say golf attire then? Oh no. Anyway, and then he picks her up, and you go, so we're just going to this golf podcast show. There's these two blokes who can't break 80 and talking about golf for an hour.
Oh my God, imagine. Imagine poor Kelly's face.
Yeah.
Imagine Kelly goes, it's not Rick Shiels and Guy, is it?
And then she's good, yeah.
Oh, and like she shoves him out the way.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I'm gonna go on my own because I don't want to like make it look like I'm on a date.
Who's gonna show out the way next, me or you?
She's gonna not shove us.
No, she's gonna shove him and then shove. She can't have us both.
Oh right, no.
I just feel like we should clarify here, just at my own back. If you go on a date with a boy or a girl, don't ask them to wear something revealing. Okay. That's not PC.
Okay.
It's up to them.
I think you can say, just to cover my own back, I am married. and if Kelly comes, no, I'm not interested.
Well, my wife will be there, so. Anyway, yeah, so.
That's all mine, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I just thought that.
Why can't Kelly come?
Kelly don't.
You know what the thing is, we will get somebody email now complaining about that. But anyway, it was just a banter you're going to get on the night. I think how much stuff we can say on the night that's X-rated.
We're not going to get any complaints.
We will. We'll get an email of somebody.
Well, so be it.
Yeah.
Speaking
of emails, if you want emails, podcast@rickshiels.com. We always love emails off people. I read a lot of them, and I give you the best ones, the creme de la creme. But this week, we've got a Dear Rick.
Okay.
And it's a similar kind of vibe that we've had before, but people are still asking Rick, so we need to give more advice. It says, Dear Guy and Rick. And his actual title of the email is very simple, Dear Rick, which is great. We've had more people trying to clickbait me now because of what you said last week or the week before about how that gets me attention. Somebody did one that said, something like, I've got Rick Shiels' nudes, and it was just too clickbait.
Yeah, well, everyone's got them.
Yeah, good. Real good. Not as good as I was expecting them in certain areas.
The lighting.
Yeah. I thought you had a longer drive on you. Does that even work, really? No. Not quite.
It feels like it's going in very different paths, this podcast.
No, it's going to stop now. Right, okay, so I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of the main channel, and I'm a twice over Clubhouse member. So that line then is what got him his email read out, really. He's not only listening to every single episode of the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, which gets you into the Clubhouse, done it twice. Was that a bit loud?
No, is he complete? I've just got an itch here.
All right, I thought you.
I feel like he's like, I don't know. That's a lot, isn't it? That's too much.
No, it's not.
No, I feel sorry for him already.
Why?
My advice to him is not to listen quite as often.
No, listen more. Because every time you listen, there'll be ads, and then we get paid. So.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, listen.
That's how it works, Rick, in this business.
Right, I get it. Keep listening.
I am 27 years old, and I've been playing golf for about 7 years now. But only recently I've started taking it more seriously. I play off 23 handicap, and I've recently felt massive improvements in my game. However, my scores aren't reflecting this. I'm getting more pars than ever, and sometimes up to 3 or 4 in 18 holes, which for me is great. But I'm still shooting around 97 to 105. My home golf course is a par 74, which is quite rare, isn't it? Par 74.
Oh, yeah.
I've been told by some mates that a better way to improve my golf is actually playing in medals or club competitions. Is there any truth to this, or simply playing with friends and solo, is that enough to better my game? Like I said, I feel like my game's improving, but I'm struggling to hold scores together. So just quickly, can I just throw something in before you give your expert advice on this? I think we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, well, I think it was on the podcast, it might have been in real life, I forget, that when you first start golf and you hit shots, you're topping it, you're shanking it a lot more, whatever, they are what you class as bad shots.
Yeah.
As you stop doing that and you get better, those bad shots become, hopefully, less frequent. But bad shots might be things like hitting in the bunker, hitting out of bounds. You strike it better as such, but it doesn't go where you want it to go, which can still result in a high score. Yeah. Is that what he's suffering with, do you think?
It could well be. I mean, he's been playing golf for 7 years now. I mean, it sounds to me, he's kind of been playing quite a casual game of golf. I think it could go either way. If he plays in medals, I'm not saying that's the worst advice ever. His friends have said that. His friends might have seen improvement with that. It just depends on his personality. Like if he's normally used to playing with a couple of mates in an afternoon where it's nice and chilled, and it's nice and quiet, and it's got a nice vibe to it, to go in then and go and playing on the Saturday morning, let's say, in a club medal where you've got to pay an entry fee and it feels a bit more official and you get a proper scorecard and you've got to, keep up the speed of play and you've got to play properly. Obviously, not that he's not doing, but you've got to play really properly. That could switch someone's mind and move them from third gear up to fifth gear, and that concentration level can definitely help improve the game. On the flip side, the nerves might kick in. They might go, oh my God, I'm playing in a big boy tournament, and suddenly like shoot 120 and like not want to play again. So it really depends on that person's personality, I would say. And don't knock it until you try it. We gave advice similar to this a couple of weeks ago where don't just worry about playing medal either. Like, do have these different formats. I think so many golfers, obviously, they see it on the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and the Break 75s. These crazy people play medal all the time, like full-on scores. But that's not the only way to play golf. Yeah. So, yeah, I think if he can, give it a go, play in a medal. He might enjoy it. He might be nervous. Maybe give it a couple of goes. But apart from that, just really try and identify what his weak areas are. I think enough golfers will put will put so much emphasis on the end score. Let's say he goes out and shoots 97. Well, that 97's been made up from many different shots, loads of different tee shots, different iron shots, wedge shots, putting, bunker shots. Well, look at that round and go, well, what area out those selection is really letting me down most? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think golfers quite look at that enough.
Well, it's interesting.
At that level.
Just rereading his email, he says, I have made massive improvements, which is a bold shout, but his scores aren't improving. So I'm interested to see, like, what is a massive improvement? Is it strike? Is it the fact that he used to hit it very thin, very heely, and now he's catching it much more efficiently? But if his scores aren't improving, there must be something going quite badly wrong.
And also, is that massive improvement the fact that he might have not played with a mate for 6 months and suddenly he's been practicing, he gets on the first tee and hits a great drive and his mate goes, oh my God, you've massively improved. Yeah, that's true. But actually, has he actually massively improved? Or is it just because he's strung a few nice shots together and his mate said, oh, you've really improved? And he's gone, oh, I have. I've really improved. But has he? I've listened to the podcast twice over. Yes. I must have improved. Medal's difficult. It really is. But really try and identify, if he can, what pockets of area in his game does he need to go and, right, let's really try and nail that. Yeah. Like, if he's going out and shooting 97 but having 40 putts, well, that's not good enough. He could knock 5 or 6 shots off his score if he just works on his putting or whatever that may be.
I've got a question. Well, not even a question, a theory. Maybe a question. I don't know what it is. But I actually feel like a lot of golfers never improve once they get to a certain point, because there's a lot of members at my golf club who I hadn't seen for a long time because I wasn't a member, then I've rejoined. And they're still off kind of the same handicap. The guy who's off 2 is quite good. The guy that's off 15, the guy that's off 22. And they've been playing for years fairly consistently. Do you think we get to some sort of... And even my friends, really, they've improved. They're not massive golfers. They all played football, and then a lot of them have started to play golf in the last 5-10 years. But they play in the summer. Don't ever go to the driving range. Play golf maybe 3 times a week max, once a week normally in the summer. And they've all got to a decent standard now of, like, let's say, shooting mid to high 80s possibly. But they've not really got any better. Do you think we can get to a point in golf where, like, that's your standard? And unless you do something drastic, that's what your best you'll get to.
I bet there are limitations, physical limitations. Yeah. Like some golfers, I remember when I was coaching full time, and they'd be desperate to hit the ball longer, but physically, regardless of what we did technically, physically they weren't fast enough, strong enough. They couldn't make the club travel fast enough to hit the ball longer. I
bet when you were at me and used to work in a pro shop, there was some members who were off like 15 for literally years.
And they still will be now.
And that's not a bad handicap. I'm just saying that it's not like you suddenly start playing golf and you get off 23 or 28 or whatever, and it becomes 23, then 17. So some people that clearly happens, but for a lot of those people, is it a case that they're just reaching the kind of natural potential? I just think it's a lot of people have that handicap. Interested to people, if you want to email us, if you've had a handicap for just years, let us know.
The other flip side, though, let's say you are 30 years old, playing off 10, just for argument's sake. 15 years later, you're 45, playing off 10.
You might have lost distance.
You might have actually improved.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
As far, but you're still scoring the...
So you've aged by 15 years, but you're still playing to the same standards you
know the course better, you know putts better, you know how to play the game better, but you might have lacked in strength.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And I still remember this conversation you and Brodie Smith had at Portrush. that some golfers want to improve.
No, I still don't think they do.
Like, I genuinely, I honestly think if you asked them, they'd say yes.
Yeah, well, my point wasn't that they want to improve. My point was lots of people play golf with very little care about how they play. And I still stand by that.
100%.
Like at my golf club, again, I'm using it a lot today, but it's my own experience. There's groups of men and women, but there's a certain group of women who were lovely. They used to play every, I think it was Tuesday and Saturday or Sunday. And there was probably about 30 of them in the kind of ladies hardcore section who would like go every comp or whatever. And for them, and rightly so, it was so much more about socialising, walking around a hilly golf course and getting some good exercise in. And they could, obviously, one week one might win and she might be over the moon, but they weren't bothered. They didn't throw clubs around and go to the driving range. Some of them had lessons, admittedly, but the vast majority were just there just to have a good time. It's like, it's okay. A lot of what we do in this podcast, and obviously your video, is about people getting better. But equally, it's okay to not be bothered.
I think golfers, certainly if they just want to maybe just stay competitive.
Yeah.
Like, they want to every now and again shoot a good score and shoot under the handicap, but they don't want to completely scupper themselves by playing so well, and they have to play to a handicap they can't really play to.
Well, that's the thing.
They kind of want to just be quite level. And like I say, a lot of people only play once a week if they get time, or not even that sometimes, once every 2 weeks. They just want to go out and just enjoy it, have a bit of social. They kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
I might have a good round, I might have a crap round. That's all right.
Well, it's funny. I played on Friday when I saw the new flags. And me and my mates played, and none of us played great. And I ended up winning with like 31 points, which obviously isn't great to win. There's only 3 of us. But for me, it was like, I said to my mates when we were walking up 18, like, realistically, how many points are you happy with? Again, they're not hardcore golfers. They're like 30. I was thinking, yeah, it's about right. If you go and play a golf course with your pals and you get 30 Stableford points, yeah, you should get 36. But 30 feels like a semi-respectable, like...
I've not played great, but it's okay.
And I think that's, for most people, if you could just go around most times and get 30, sometimes 36 or 32 points, 34... pretty good in it.
Yeah, well, a handicap, and I still remember, a handicap is a snapshot of you on a good day.
Yes, that's what people forget.
It really is you on a good day. Yeah. Like, and you look at, like, say, any golf club around the world on a Saturday when they've got the normal competition, there'll be 2 or 3 golfers that have really shot the lights out.
Yeah,
but not many. And sometimes those golfers that have shot the lights out and played way under the handicap are either quite new and they're improving dramatically.
Yeah.
You know, or there might be younger golfers who are practicing every day because they can do. But it's also perfectly acceptable just to cruise and just go and enjoy it, have a bit of social.
I would be interested to hear from some people who, again, emails podcast@rickshiels.com or comment whenever you want to do it on this video maybe. A lot of people I've seen now are moaning about the new handicap system, that you are getting more people winning with ridiculous scores because the handicaps, I suppose in the longer run, if you're a proper weekend golfer who plays every week, it becomes maybe more accurate. But there's some people who get a new handicap and are getting silly numbers. So I'd like to hear people's thoughts on that. I don't have much experience on that.
The one thing I have seen is that a number of places are annoyed that the course hasn't been rated yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's been quite
a big... You have to pay, don't you, I think?
Do you?
I think so, but don't quote me.
The club has to pay.
I think so, but I'm not fully sure. I've got a couple more questions off Twitter, actually. So, quite a good on this, off Jamie O'Brien. We talk a lot about filming with Tiger would be the absolute dream, and that you probably will delete the channel after that, because what's the point of carrying on? But
YouTube
question,
complete.
If Rick got the opportunity to do a video with Tiger, what would it actually be? Now, let's give you the ideal one with 18 holes, whatever, but if you had an hour with him, 90 minutes, which I think is realistic if you ever did get to film with him, what would you actually want to shoot?
It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would be the best Tiger video? Thing is, anything that you did with him would be great. Like, if you had a putting comp with him, it'd be killer. If you got him to give me a golf lesson, it'd be absolutely killer. If we did a long drive competition, it'd kill it. Like, there are ideas in there.
What would be your favourite thing to do? It's like, Rick, you got 90 minutes with Tiger Woods at Marriott Worsley Park, ironically.
90 minutes.
90 minutes, what would you do with him?
What would I do with him?
I'd just look at him, just sit there. Just look at his quiet room, just look at him for 90 minutes.
You know what I would like to do? Obviously, I'd love to sit down and do a podcast with him.
What would you ask
whether
him?
we could get... Well, I'd almost quite like to start it off by saying, what are the questions you get asked the most? And it will say, it's like, okay, so we're not going to ask any of them. Like, well, like what are the questions that annoy you the most?
You know what I'd like to do with him?
And then scratch them off our notepad.
You know,
We're going to ask him.
Have you ever watched those videos where like they get English people to try American snacks and vice versa? Sit down with Tiger, get him a load of like English food, get him like a Greg's pasty, get him a sausage roll, get him stuff that we like, and just get him to eat it and see what he thinks.
Pasty balm.
Yeah.
I'd tell you what, also be a class video, like finding the cheapest clubs we could possibly ever find and seeing how well he'd play with them.
Yeah.
Like he'd absolutely kill him, wouldn't he?
I'd love to take him to Trafford Golf Centre and just walk around with him and watch people's reaction. I don't know what we'd do. I think anything would be great.
Tiger, give us a call.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to happen. So let's not put it off.
Does he still answer the phone to you? I've not spoken to him for ages, mate.
No, he blocked me a few times.
A few times.
But yeah, honestly, it would be phenomenal. I know we've not sold it there, but give us a chance.
We've got no ideas, but we'd be good.
I mean, give us a day with Tiger.
Yeah.
Then
we would do what?
15 videos. 15, 20 videos.
Got one last question for you before we have to wrap it up. We've got some stuff to do this today, so we're busy. This is another one off Twitter from Sean Brown. What score should you be shooting before you start using premium balls, or should you use them whenever, but just be prepared to lose them?
Well, the brands...
Welcome to my world.
The brands, certainly someone like Titleist say everyone should use the Pro V1 or Pro V1X. Yeah. Right, because they're the best ball and all this. But realistically, you're not going to go out if you're not playing well and you're hitting them into trees and out of bounds and bushes and whatever. You're not going to spend £3, £4, £3.50 a golf ball, are you?
No,
never in a million years. Like, so it's whatever kind of fits your budget. I don't believe there is a certain time, because I think you've mentioned. Isn't one of your best ever rounds with like a DT solo 100%, or something?
I was going to say that, yeah. My best ever round, my mother-in-law was somebody who was leaving her work. She got I randomly had some golf balls he wasn't bothered about. She took them for me. They were like Titleist DT solo or whatever it was, PTS Wound, that kind of golf ball. And I took them and I was, oh, thank you. And I weirdly went playing with my friends one day, used one and shot 3 under gross, which is my best score. I'm not the best golfer in the world. 3 under gross round 18 holes. Using this golf ball, which I would never use in a competition or even playing with you or anything. I just would normally use a Pro V. It's like, well, actually, Kirkland balls are great.
Yeah.
I think if you want to use a Pro V1 or a TP5 or whatever it might be, that's any ability. I don't think you can be too bad for them. It's just the fact that just be prepared to lose them.
Yeah, exactly.
And equally on the flip side, I don't think they make, although again, I'm always a Pro V1 user and I have been forever and probably will be forever potentially. They're not really better in the grand scheme of things than a mid-range ball. Just what you like, isn't it? Even a mindset thing as well.
Well, I think it's a mindset thing, definitely. It's almost like you're not questioning the ability of the golf ball.
Yeah, like I love teeing off with a brand new or extremely clean Pro V1.
Like I never, when I play with a Pro V1 or a real premium ball from any brand, I never blame the ball.
No.
As much as I want to, I never blame the ball.
I think the ball's the last thing you could blame.
Where sometimes if it is a lower price, but like much lower, or it's from a brand that maybe isn't as reputable, or
it's above a doubt, innit? Doesn't
have that stamp of real approval, you kind of, there's question marks and you might hit one through the green. You go, oh, what, was that the ball? Like you sometimes then start questioning it when really you shouldn't do.
No.
So hopefully everyone enjoyed the podcast today. There's a few top tips there for greenkeepers, head pros, golf club councils. Dead easy to elevate your golf club.
We might do a couple. We had a few other good ones left, so maybe next week, because obviously a lot of people don't use social media. They just listen to the podcast or watch it. So if you want to leave some in the comments below, if you're watching on YouTube, if you want emails, if you're listening, it's podcast@rickshiels.com. We'll get some more in, and maybe next week at the start, we'll do a couple more. One other note, next week's podcast will be out on Tuesday. It just might be later on the day because we're away on the Monday, aren't we, in Scotland?
Okay.
So we won't be able to record it on Monday. We'll have to record it Tuesday, which means it should still be out Tuesday, but maybe later on the day.
Yeah.
So
be warned.
You've been warned. Once.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Can you close a pod? You didn't start the podcast great. Can you close it well?
Of course I can.
Go on.
Straight down, camera 1.
Yeah, camera 1. They don't have numbers.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast with myself, Rick Shiels, and co-host Guy. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon. And Kelly, give me a call.
Nice.
I know a man who's got tickets for the podcast.